Do you have a room rented here?
Doesn't matter.
You need to go too.
You can't criminally trespass me unless you're the property owner, so get with that.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, yeah, good Lord, I know my rights. Thank you very much. All right, I'll just do a brief rundown of it again. Last night, Christopher Ponte of the PDX Street News and the Accountability Huntress was at this DHS facility where they're basically torturing kids. Last night, they filmed this facility here where they keep foster kids that have been, difficult to handle, and they've covered the windows so they don't get access to natural sunlight. Since Chris and her filmed last night out here, did a First Amendment audit, they've opened up the curtains so that the kids could get some light. But last night when they filmed this, they were completely blacked out. So we know they've seen the video and all that fun stuff. And the reason why I'm doing this is because Oregon has got this thing to where they won't even allow foster kids right now during the COVID-19 thing to even talk to their parents on the phone. And if you look at the absolutely egregious statistics of children being physically and sexually abused in these foster care situations, this to me is nothing but a child kidnapping ring. So yeah, at least the Huntress and Chris coming out here has made them open the curtain some so these kids could get some light. At least that little bit of good has come out of it. So I'm going to continue my audit. I'm going to film these vehicles. Yeah, so the way these foster kids are treated is just disgusting and horrible, and something's got to be done about it. Like I said, the whole state of Oregon doesn't even allow them to speak to their parents on the phone right now during this crisis, and then they were being kept in this facility without access to their parents or even sunlight. And yes, if you look up John Hughes torture memos or the CIA torture memos online, you can read all about how denying people sunlight is actually defined as they call it pressure, but it's really torture. It's actually an official torture technique developed by the U.S. military for torturing insurgents in Iraq and Afghanistan and our black site prison. So these kids are literally being tortured. I spent time myself in the foster care system as a child, and I know how these kids are treated. Please make sure this gate is securely closed. We have a kid that will take off if given the opportunity. Yeah, because you're torturing him and stealing him away from his parents and generally making his life a living hell by keeping him in a dark, sequestered environment that's rife with pedophilia and physical abuse. So yes, it's a natural human instinct to escape when you're being tortured, tormented, and treated in a very inhuman and demeaning sort of way. And here comes one of the child kidnapping employees right now. Their front license plate is covered over. Hey, do you know it's illegal for you to keep your front license plate covered over? Did you? I'm not trespassing. No, I'm not. I'm on a public sidewalk, miss. But it's totally illegal for you to be covering up your license plate. Her back license plate is covered too. That is a violation of Oregon revised statutes to have the front and the back license plate. I know. What does this child kidnapper have to hide? It's completely illegal for you not to be displaying a front and back license plate. You're going to call the police because I'm standing on a public sidewalk? Okay, well, I look forward to talking to law enforcement, lady. You fucking child kidnapper. Hi. So she thinks that me being on the sidewalk is trespassing. That's adorable. This sidewalk is a. This sidewalk. They. Right here. Yes. There has to be a public easement between where there's city property and someone's private property. And I was standing right here when she said I'm trespassing. Yeah. So yeah, this is how they behave. Cited. That ORS is cited for the freeway. Oh. Uh-huh. Yes, that is the freeway sign. It's up there, right? If you go up there, that's ODOT property. That's what that's about. Mm-hmm. They have a private property sign, but look at there. I think this private property sign was put up. Let me stop shaking, holding a cell phone with one hand. Here. This private property was property sign was probably just put up after Chris Ponte and the Accountability Huntress was here, because if you notice, there's nothing written underneath it. It just says private property. And in Oregon, if memory serves, I might be wrong, but if memory serves, it's got to say the ORS to make it a proper no trespassing sign. And this lady is literally covering up her license plate on the front and the back because A, she doesn't like the idea of people knowing the fact that she works for a system that systematically rapes and physically abuses children. This is not hyperbole. This is just documentable facts. Just Google the statistics of children that are raped, molested, and beaten in the foster care system. Yet these people get paid very good money to take kids away from their parents. And they'll do it for all kinds of crazy reasons. If you just check out Facebook for some of these child and parent advocacy Facebook groups and read through the stuff, it's horrendous. The American foster care system is nothing more than systematic child kidnapping and abuse, both sexual and physical. And it turns my stomach. Yeah, of course. And when the police come here to talk about trespassing, I bet they're not going to cite that nice lady for covering her front and back license plate. Although it's clearly illegal. Yeah, I'm so mad my fucking hands are shaking, dude. Like, you just don't even know. I am just pissed and livid. But yeah, so if you're just tuning in, no, she went inside the building after telling me that I was trespassing when I was standing on a public sidewalk, and I explained to her that it was illegal, and she said, "Oh, I'm trespassing and harassing her now." No nice child kidnapper and molester. Under the Oregon revised statutes, harassment means physical touching in an aggressive manner, like shoving somebody. So hypothetically, if she walked out here and got in my face and hypothetically I shoved her, for an example, on the fucking dirt, that would be harassment. Okay? But since I didn't touch her nasty, skeevy, fucking disgusting ass, which I wouldn't ever touch, because, I mean, A, look at her, and B, I don't touch child molesters. It fucking makes me feel dirty. But no, I'm not harassing her by standing out on a public sidewalk and documenting the fact that they're keeping these kids in these torture facilities, not allowing the children to even speak to their parents on the phone. See, Oregon has decided, because of COVID-19, for some insane freaking reason, so Oregon has decided for some insane reason that kids in foster care can't even speak to their birth parents. So why are you keeping those windows closed so the kids can't get access to the natural sunlight?
You guys can always knock on the door and ask questions.
No. I can't knock on the door and ask questions because she said I was trespassing. So I'm not going to do that.
So just knock on the door and ask questions.
I can't because she said I'm trespassing. So I'm not going to go on your property because I know the law and I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But why are these kids being kept until Huntress and Chris Ponte came out here? Why were these windows being kept closed so the kids couldn't get access to sunlight? Like, why? Why do you have window coverings like that?
I'm saying if you have a question.
I have a question. I guess you are refusing to answer my question, I guess. So why are the kids have covers over their windows?
Just call somebody. Yeah.
Call somebody about me being on a public sidewalk. So you work here? Are you familiar with the statistics of how many kids are raped and physically abused in the foster care system that you obviously work for? Like, seriously, you have any idea how many kids are abused in that system?
Yes, we do.
Right on. Then why do you work for a system that's systematically torturing and physically and sexually abusing children? Yeah, you...
Just go get educated, please.
Oh, go get educated, please. Okay. Tell me something to read. Give me a link of something that I can read and research. Prove me wrong. No. I'm willing to read about anything you'd like. So, here is this vehicle again. Yep. I know I'm here at shift change. Make sure you get your lives in order because this is a live stream. So look, no license plate, okay? No license plate on the car whatsoever. Clearly illegal. Absolutely unlawful to do that. See? See that? That's completely unlawful. I'm on a public sidewalk. I'm not blocking your way. You can go ahead and leave. Maybe you should stop breaking the law, but I think it's awesome that you're paid so much from your child kidnapping and systematic rape that you're going to buy that Hummer and you can afford the gas mileage on that horrible fucking piece of shit of a vehicle. Bye now, nice molester. I don't like child kidnappers or molesters. I dislike them. Oh. Yep. Just Google the statistics of how many kids are raped in the foster care system. Yeah, Google it. Have a nice look and realize what you work for. The monster that you work for is a beast. A state-operated monster. Yes. Right. Yep. Turning, especially the way it deals with indigenous children. Because white people really love adopting native babies and taking them away from their parents. Because, you know, that's cool to have an exotic fucking designer foster child. They really love that. And they actually pay more money for those kids. And then kids with special needs, they warehouse like the same foster parent will like get 4 or 5 of these kids because they get more money. And the monster that you work for is part of that system that systematically oppresses, molests, and physically abuses children on a daily basis. That's who you work for, lady. Right, that's your response, monster. What, me speaking to you outside with the door closed? What, can they hear through the wall, lady? Okay, they can hear it through the wall because I'm talking to you. Well, close the door and go hide like the little parasite that you are. I have more respect to of a flea that's attached to the underside of a dog's nutsack than I have for you. Because the flea has to suck and work for a living. You are literal human garbage, wrapped in a smile. Systematic fascism.
she went and fucking messaged our national guy because she didn't trust me as the admin for our group.
What message? The National Guard?
No, the Josh, the guy who's
okay.
nationally organizing our rally.
Satan MVP, yep. You need to get me a megaphone. No, I don't need a megaphone. I am fully able to crack a cop's riot gear in half with my voice. I was born with a loud fucking voice and I'm really good at using it. These people done pissed me the fuck off. I'm doing this for fucking crime molested fucking children. Since they don't have a voice, they can't even speak to their parents right now on the phone because somehow Oregon has decided that children in foster care can't speak to their birth parents on the phone because of COVID-19. Like, the government and every government official and every state-funded entity has seized upon this COVID-19 crisis as a means to just become thugs and bullies and disgusting monsters, even more monstrous than they actually were before. Like, it's getting really bad. I mean, I don't understand how they're going to protect children from a virus by not allowing them to speak with their parents, their birth parents, on the phone. I am so angry and livid about this. I can barely make words. Yeah, these are kids that have been taken away by Oregon's DHS. That's our version of CPS. Yes, and they are kidnapped. But seriously, what I was talking about earlier, if you look at the statistics of children that are taken away from people out of reservations, it is absolutely heartbreaking. It's the kind of stuff that makes you so mad that you can't form words. If you look at the disproportionate rate of Native children being stolen by the state, and then Native children being molested in those systems is even so much higher than white kids. It's fucking disturbing. I'm particularly angry because I've spent time on reservations. I know people that live in reservations, and it's really, really bad, man. Okay, it just makes me so damn angry. I'll post information in the description once I upload this or do an edited version online. I will post the address of this place, what the facility is about, what their corporate name is, and all this fun stuff. But it's basically a place where they keep foster kids that are taken away from their parents. Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, this is absolutely disturbing. How is the audio and the video quality? Guys, can you let me know? I'm sorry I can't respond to your comments, but I wear glasses, and literally, if I look down as I'm filming, the angle, it's skewed over the pug face. Oh, quality's great. Good. So the frame rate's good, and it looks decently high resolution. Yeah, the police came last night when Accountability Huntress and Chris Ponte were out here. By the way, I need you to mosey on over to YouTube and subscribe to the Accountability Huntress, a girl with a camera, because she needs to be able to live stream directly to YouTube, but she can't do that unless you guys help out, subscribe to her channel. She needs 1,000 subscribers so she can live stream, and this girl is bringing the freaking A game. Oh, cool. Accountability Huntress on YouTube. Accountability Huntress. And also go to PDX Street News and subscribe to Chris Ponte's work on YouTube. Yep. That's it. Accountability Huntress and PDX Street News. And guys, I need you to smash that little bell for notifications. I've been getting numerous messages lately of people saying that they've been messaging me saying that they don't get my notifications and they have to re-click the bell. So, and I'm also being algorithmically censoring. If you look, or censored by YouTube itself, if you look at my subscribers on this channel, you'll see that large number. But when I do a live feed, there's 30 people watching this. You know, that math doesn't add up. Just look at my subscribers and you'll see that there's 30 people watching this right now. 31 now. Yeah, I'm in Portland, and that is the name of one of the places that I'm going tonight. It's either this one or the other one. This place just popped up on my radar, and yeah. I like how the guy's response to my logical assertion that he needs to look at the amount of kids that are molested physically and sexually in these facilities. The guy that works in there, obviously. And his answer to me was, I need to get educated. And I told him, give me a link or something that I could read. And his response is, your mind's made up. No, if my mind was made up and I was completely set in my ways, I wouldn't be willing to research or read about whatever he wanted to suggest. But he didn't have the courage to engage with me in a substantive way. So I guess that's his loss. Say hi, Jessica. Hey, I'm just wondering, I've been running my mouth quite a bit, but I know this is a subject that is close to you in your heart and mind. Can you tell me what you think of what I just witnessed?
I think it's disgusting that those people get paid to steal children. And it's true, they do get more money for kids with diagnoses. My oldest son has autism, and he's had a meltdown. And people have called the police, and that's the first thing they threaten is that we're going to call CPS. And we're going to call CPS. And every time he broke his arm a year and a half ago, and I was terrified because I knew he needed to have surgery. And I was terrified that there would be some reason that they would have to do an investigation because I want to use CBD or because I declined.
Oh, speak up louder. They're saying that you're quiet because of
my older son is 13. He has autism, and he's had a meltdown where a couple times people have called the police on us, and the police threaten to call CPS because CPS gets more money for children with diagnoses, like my son. And he broke his arm about a year and a half ago, and I was terrified taking him to the hospital because we use CBD and we don't treat with pharmaceutical prescription drugs like this lady was telling us we need tonight. And that's a threat to their system because we stay out of their system. We're not part of their money-making machine. And it's really scary. And it's wrong what they do. They take children from loving homes. They force medical procedures on them. They place them in homes where there is known abuse, that people are getting paid to abuse these children. It's real. You can do the research. I've spoke to mothers. I was out at the Deputy District Attorney's house on Super Bowl because that's the largest sex trafficking day of the year for children. 60% of those children are out of the CPS system. It's a fact.
And just to be clear, what Jessica's talking about is you have these people that pimp out children during the Super Bowls, and they actually it actually drives up the population of the towns, the cities that the Super Bowl is in, because they have so many people going there to rent kids.
They do.
It's so disturbing.
Yeah, Oregon is the worst for CPS children in the system. They are the worst for sex trafficking in our country. It's disgusting what our state allows. There's a class action lawsuit against Governor Kate Brown about this issue. She is an epic fail on so many ways. Like, why is our state in lockdown when we had 2 deaths yesterday? And how many counties don't even have any cases? And, tens of thousands of our citizens can't even get unemployment. And the suicide rate and the domestic violence rate and the child abuse rate is skyrocketing. because she's, you know, deemed that liquor stores are
Somebody
essential,
just said that foster parents made over $2,000 a month
they do.
on their kid that was taken away by CPS.
They do. They do.
Because they had a diagnosis. $2,000 a month.
On Super Bowl Sunday, a mom came out and spoke with me. She's a nurse. She worked at the hospital. Her son has
look, Portland Police Bureau.
And she talked to the doctor about
wait. Let's silent treatment this motherfucker.
Oh, okay. All right then.
The silent treatment's fun.
What are you guys doing? What's going on? Oh, what's going on? You alright? You alright? You guys can totally do this. It's completely okay. It's not an issue. I'm only here because they're calling. I just want to get your side of the story. And it's totally fine what you guys doing because it's cool what you guys want. It's not an issue. It's not a problem. And I appreciate it if you guys kind of tell me what's going on so I can go tell them that it's completely fine for you guys to do. Okay? No? Nothing? No. Alright. Well, just do me a solid, please. Just don't cause alarm to them. Be here, record, totally fine. Fair enough? Fair enough? Yes? They're not talking, they're just recording. They're fine.
Okay.
They're just telling them.
I talked to them. So, don't go on their property, okay? You can stay and record here all you want, but you can't go on their property. You're trespassing on their property, okay?
They seems to understand pretty well, correct?
Okay.
Alright.
So don't go on their property.
Thank you.
Is that your plan?
Yep, I have one question.
Sure, what's up?
The people that work in here, she left. She was riding in a Hummer.
Yeah.
She had a Jeep. Yeah, sorry. With her front and back license plates covered. Is that illegal in Oregon?
If you're on the street, it's a violation.
Well, she rode out
there
that way.
I don't want to get sick from you.
I'm 6 feet away from you, brother.
No, you're not.
So okay, well, get a tape measure if you want to act like that. But so that is unlawful though, to ride around without a license plate front or back.
Yes.
Okay, right on. Well, my live stream has a video of this nice person that works here with the front and back covered, and they're riding that way.
Okay, they probably don't want to get recorded by you, so
You're on a public sidewalk, right?
No more going on their property.
This is the same public sidewalk I've been on.
Have a good day.
Right. You too. Bye-bye.
I don't recognize you, Michael. How are you? You good? You know me, man. We're good. Totally fine. You know me? It's totally fine. There's never going to be an issue with me at all. Okay. Good seeing you.
I don't know exactly how nasty these people are back there. That is a cop I've known for years, but I'm not speaking to them because this is an issue that the state, the federal, and the local government would like to keep buried. So I'm not giving those cops 1 inch. Usually I'm very communicative, very talkative with them. They've known me. I've been doing police accountability work for slightly more than a decade here, but I want to get back to Jessica, all right? So where do we leave off?
So Super Bowl Sunday at Deputy District Attorney Christine Lander's home, who was involved in a high-profile case of medical kidnapping where they forced a young girl into a medical procedure where they removed 2/3 of her liver because of a rare cancer that was being shrunk by CBD from her mom. The FBI came and took her.
It was Kylie Dixon,
yeah. So we were out at Deputy District Attorney Christine Lander's house on Super Bowl protesting the sex trafficking because Miss Kylie was sent to a foster home that was known sex abusers there. It had been going on for months. Again, no contact allowed with her, her mom, and you can Google that story, Kylie's fight. Her mom is documented a lot. She's back home with her mom now.
You know what got me involved with the Kylie's fight thing was watching the videos that little girl uploaded, asking herself, totally not edited, just one long take of her describing how she needs people to help her mother because her mother was the only person that ever advocated for her. It broke my heart and lit a fire under me, and I was totally willing to stand out in front of wherever protesting for months if need be. But I'm just so glad.
That's what started in the act.
Nice, right on.
Arena. But Super Bowl, we're out there, and this nurse comes out to spend some time and hold a sign and tell some truth with us. And her son has epilepsy. She's an RN, And she's talked to the doctor about using CBD alongside of his prescriptions. And the doctor did not agree. So he reported her to CPS, and CPS took her son, but left her other son in her custody. She wasn't saying that she wanted to, stop the prescriptions or do anything that would harm her son. She just wanted to use a natural alternative alongside of it to support it, something that's legal federally. and the state deemed that was not okay. There are doctors who are specifically trained to look for and seek out child abuse. I've seen cases of doctors self-reporting injuries of their own children and having their children taken away. This is a very big issue that is not well talked about, and it's not reported in the mainstream media.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they had such an extreme reaction. And you could just see the fear of me confronting them and explaining to them about the statistics of what they actually do and how they called the cops, how they were like, oh, yeah, you're trespassing and harassing. I mean, okay.
Interestingly, when we were there at Deputy Lander's home, her neighbor came out, a young woman, I would say maybe 19 years old, somewhere around there, who had herself told her story about being kept in a facility and held against her will and medicated.
Yeah.
This is what they do to children so that they can make money on them.
I was a ward of the state in rural North Carolina when I was a kid. When I was 11, 12, 13 years old, for those 3 years, I was owned by the state, taken away from my mom. They forced medication on me. They forced in prison-like environment. They had bars on the windows of the facility I was in. They had motion sensors in the hallway at night, so an alarm would ring, and the doors were locked shut. And even if somebody some little kid like myself was strong enough to pry open those big magnetic lock prison doors they had on the place, there was alarms.
Yeah.
So
in Oregon, they ship kids to different facilities in different states. That's part of the class action lawsuit that is currently filed against Kate Brown. There was a recent change in the head of CPS. Things have not improved. I posted an article to my Facebook about how these facilities drug kids, the staff members rape them, and the administrators lie when law enforcement come in to do the investigation. They're all in on it. They're all part of it. I wonder how...
It's money. It's money.
What the police get for looking the other way. Sex trafficking is like a $15 billion a year industry.
Mm-hmm.
Worldwide, but the United States is the worst out of every country in the world. And Oregon is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon is the worst for taking.
And there's a disproportionate amount of those kids that are native.
Yes.
Because native people they don't have the resources. If you want to see a third world nation, you don't got to travel abroad. Yeah, you go to any reservation and you will see a third world nation. And this system preys on them. They do. And they have been preying on them since the 1860s.
Out here and tell us we need medication because that's what they do to these kids.
Right.
They medicate them.
Right. They did say we need medication. I think it's very interesting. You brought up a very good point that what they're
push the pharmaceuticals because that's also part of the mission.
Right.
That's also part of the problem.
If they weren't kids and didn't have their own legal rights, okay, in the medical industry, because you've worked in the medical industry, there's something called informed consent, and there's called consent to treat. Like, you can't use a chemical restraint on someone unless they're a danger to themselves or others. And oh no, not in the foster care system. If they say, oh yeah, you didn't brush your hair, little Timmy or Jane, oh, you're showing signs of not keeping yourself up, and you're showing signs of self-neglect. So here, have a little Ritalin,
That's what this girl who came out from Christine Lander's neighbor said. She said she was in a counseling session and she just went frustrated about something, and they started her on a new medication, and they wouldn't even let her. They said she was having outbursts and uncontrolled behavior. And that's what they do. That's what they do. These sick fuckers.
Yeah, these people are so disturbing. It's beyond words. Well, guys, I am going to conclude this audit, and I'm going to another place tonight, another facility that does this very same stuff. And if you're arriving on the video late, this is a DHS place where they take foster kids that have been taken away from their parents. And yesterday, when Chris Ponte and the accountability huntress was here, they had these windows completely blocked blacked out so that the kids couldn't even get access to sunlight. And to add insult to the injury of these children, because this is psychological torture, this is trauma. When you take a kid from their parents and then
let them call their mom,
right, and
it's
since
not essential.
right, because it's not essential. Right. The thing that makes me the most angry is the fact that since the COVID-19 thing, they've not been allowing children in this system visitation or contact. They can't even speak to their parents on the phone, and this is statewide. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Do smash that little bell and check this out. I've been streaming for 40 minutes and 45 seconds. I have, we'll just look at how many subscribers I have, all right? There is no reason why I should only have 33 views unless I'm being censored. So, please do smash that little bell. Hook me up with a super chat, something, because I'm literally, this channel is being starved off the internet, and it's getting real bad. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'm headed out to another place just like this one. So look for that stream very soon. Oh, that's so adorable. There's somebody out just on the other side taking a flash picture of me inside there. The cute little child molester taking little glamour shots of me.
Getting paid for stealing kids.
Yeah, I know. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Like my disguise. The cop didn't even know who I was when I first showed up, and yeah, that is a cop I'm very familiar with. But yeah, guys, I will be live streaming more tonight. Mike Bluehair signing off for the Oregon Cop Watcher. Jessica, one quick thing. Plug that event that you're sponsoring very soon. What's going on?
In the dark.
Let's go to the light. Good things are never done in the dark. Okay, let's do good things in the light. Wait. Not enough light. Okay. Perfect. There's your pretty face.
Right, y'all. So we are having a rally, and I am the lead for Oregon State. This is going to be nationwide, every capital. Some states will have multiple rallies depending on size and groups of people, but it is American Revolution 2.0. And I can give Mike the link to the rally. We're going to be 12 noon, May 1st at the Capitol building in Salem, Oregon. And
so, one quick question.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a glorified Trump rally?
It's not. This is not any party. This is people coming together with a collective voice to speak up about the tyranny of having our constitutional rights removed from us and not allowed to live. We want Governor Brown to open the state so small businesses can get back to work, so that people can, live life and not be held in oppression.
So, can I ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
Is this more of a labor rights thing? Is this people angry that they're not allowed to leave and go and get work and actually go to their jobs that they already had?
All walks of life. People pissed that they can't, what they need to go purchase is deemed non-essential. People who have lost their life savings because their small business is not going to be recoverable no matter how much stimulus that the government sends. People who are just sick of bullshit like me. Like I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm fine to homeschool my kids because it's better to keep them out of the indoctrination centers, especially with the state of the way things are these days. But there's a lot of people out there that are being harmed by this, and the small percentage, a fraction of 1% of our state being infected and 95% of these people being recovered. It's not about a virus. It's there's more than that, and the fact that people so very willingly handed their rights over and are just okay with it is not okay.
I find that disturbing on so many levels. Both on the left and the right, people have bent over and just accepted a level of tyranny that I didn't expect. I was taken aback a little bit. I understand that the coronavirus, in my opinion, is a real thing. It's happening. And there's right. And there are parts of our medical system that are being overwhelmed, and I think that needs to be addressed. But if you're healthy and you're washing your hands and wearing a mask or trying to take care of yourself the way you should have been before this all went down, right? Because if you're a nasty fucker before this, like, like, why change your, you should have been washing your hands. You should have been, when you're sick, you should have been staying away from people. But if you're younger, the biggest risk is to older folks. My mom, I sequestered my mom and put her on quarantine, and you should have seen me. I was walking around from room to room with a fresh bottle of bleach water, spraying I'd spray all the railings that she would touch.
It's the fallout. It's the ripple effect. It's the nurses that are laid off because non-necessary medical procedures are being rescheduled. It's it's the everything else that comes from the focus on just this one thing, when this one thing is, just one little fraction of the big picture. Yeah, and so people just so willingly handed it over. So we're not supporting any candidates there. We're just coming together as a collective voice to be the people, to say this is not acceptable, and we need to hold our government officials accountable, because they work for us. We elected them, and they don't get to decide for us.
Right. Well, to answer your question, lamp filled with oil, let's see. 11th and 12th grade, junior and senior year. Yeah, I did. I took microbiology because I went to a high school that allowed college prerequisites. Oh, yeah, shift change. Oh, yeah, wait, I'm just going to get myself a nice license plate right quick because, these tyrants need some exposing.
Oh, from Washington.
There's a child kidnapper right there. Hi, nice child kidnapper. How are you doing? So, yeah, to answer your question. I didn't hear exactly what he said. He said something.
No, what was the question?
Have you? He said, "Don't be a sucker," because I was talking about Corona being real, and they're like, "Have you ever taken a biology course?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, microbiology." Yeah. Jessica has a degree.
Year of chemistry. I took. Yeah, it's a real virus.
Mm-hmm.
It's been man-made. There's a patent on it.
Well, the coronavirus, a specific strain of it, but not this COVID-19 thing.
It's mutated.
Right.
But it is real. I believe I had it in November. I had the gurgling from my lungs, the cough that lasted. I worked in healthcare for 20 years. The radiology tech that I used to work with, she said in November and December they had a string of upper respiratory infections that were just unlike anything they'd ever seen, and the x-rays were not like a regular pneumonia, and they monitored them, and she's convinced that was coronavirus. Here, you should Google Event 201 that Mr. Bill Gates put on, that was the launch party for this pandemic.
Because if you read about coronavirus, it's literally a class of viruses that can be transmitted from animal to human, and there's dozens of them. Yeah, it's a zoonotic virus. Yeah. These people are doubting that you know what the hell you're saying. Can you tell these people just a little bit about your educational background?
I started off as a volunteer firefighter and medic. Went to school for medical assistant while I was working on the ambulance. Worked in healthcare for 20 years. Did all my prerequisites for RN, including a full year of chemistry. Took my anatomy and physiology classes twice because I got B's, and I was trying to get better grades because it was on a point system and you only get in if you have A's. And I worked in the healthcare industry for 20 years. Got so burned out and sick of it, my heart broken by working in mental health, and quit the allopathic model and put myself back through school to be an integrative health practitioner. So I know a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. So the girl knows what she's talking about, B. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm heading out to another one of these facilities. Right now. So pencil that down. Portland Police Bureau Criminal Intelligence Unit, because I know you watch all my stuff, because I've actually sat in court with other cop watchers and seen your little disgusting simpering state-funded goon monstrous asses sitting in court talking about how you read my social media and how you watch my videos. You motherfuckers make between $35 and $45 dollars an hour to watch me insult you on videos. You guys are making, this is funny, this is really funny, you guys are making more sitting and idly watching and monitoring my social media than I am on my YouTube channel. But you know what? I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it Because when I'm dead, when I'm laying on my deathbed about to go, I want to be able to look up at my loved ones, if I'm lucky enough to have any, and say I resisted this tyranny. Thank you for watching, guys.